Welcome to the Grand Design Series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 8th of June 1935, which is just under a year on from the end of the last part. And the reason I played on so far again is, well, there's several reasons. The main reason is the fact that if you watch the previous part, you'd be aware we had quite a major earthquake. And it's taken almost a year to rebuild this town, get it back up and stable. You can see that our happiness is back to 75%. We've got a little bit of an issue with health, but that's something we can work on. And also the fact that we still don't have over 21s. This is just what we're going to need to populate our new town here. Now, the second reason is that I was trying to push forward to try and get as much of the kind of main infrastructure into this town, because of course this is the next big project. It's getting very close. We've now got quite a lot of bits and pieces in here. We still need to finish off the main drainage here, which has really taken some time. The other thing also is that I wanted to plan in the main power grid supply here, and I still need to do the details with the local power. We've got the potential for local power here coming into this area to power this corner of the area. The other thing also is that you can see the heating is now finished. We've got coal available and more, but we still need to get power into here. Now we're running a little bit of a risk at the moment in the sense that we've got no fire coverage. I think we've got fire engines on the way here, but we actually need firefighters. So what I might do, if we can get a couple of buses, is actually maybe bring in foreign workers from here. Now another interesting aspect, if I go underground, is I've actually run a double underground cable to this transformer here for the electrification of the railway. And you can see I actually had to run through this gap across the border, because of course I can't run power cut lines. Something I didn't take into account when I was actually planning the power supply. There's also another issue which I will talk about when we start looking at the production of fuel. Now before that, as usual, a big thank you for all your comments and feedback. Now I did get a comment. Somebody pointed out that we are now approaching quite a key period of time with respect to both the Soviet Union and also much of what would come kind of Western Europe. And that is the fact that we are now moving into a period of what you would call the industrialization of the manufacture of vehicles. So at the moment, up until now, we've had the local guy here kind of doing his thing with respect to making these vehicles. I'm starting to think that, yeah, we got missing wood here. I've still got a problem with the wood supply here. But in some ways, that is kind of an example that we need to move towards a more kind of centralized form of vehicle production. And that is what there was in the comment, because in 1936 or 35, 36, Russia started to build its first what you would call production line vehicle orientated. And this is something that I think we're going to be doing down in this area, because we've got an iron mine and a coal mine, but we're never going to produce a massive amounts of steel here, because these won't have the capacity. But I think what they might be able to do is produce enough steel for vehicle production. So what we might end up with is some vehicle production, but we need to get this town built up as well. And that's quite important. And from a game perspective, 1936 is going to be a fairly significant year, because we actually start to get access to some better vehicles. But also, more importantly, we will finally get access to a roller and paver, which will have to be imported from the West. So we will start to get a number of vehicles which we can actually then start to use. And that's one of the reasons why I'm building up this money here, because we're going to need to ensure, because I can't remember what the year range for that paver and that roller is. So we may have to buy the templates in order to be able to manufacture it. So that is going to be quite significant. And I think the 1930s, and also with respect to what we're building out here of an oil refinery, represents the transition between moving away from, well, definitely from horses, because horses by the 1930s, horses were already sliding away. But it's also worth noting that even during the Second World War, many supply systems still used horses on all sides. It wasn't, vehicles weren't universal, but you also got steam. But more importantly, this represents the real transition towards using diesel fuels or petrols on the industrial. And to represent that, what I've done is I start to plan in these gas stations. So while we might keep the coal fuel over this side of the border, it's when on this side of the border, the focus will become more and more on fuel. And with respect to that, also another thing that I was doing, which is another reason why I played on for about a year, is the fact that I've now put in some crossovers here. Well, this one is not quite so important because I just got absolutely fed up of having to try and manage the these three rail construction trains I got here. Probably the most important crossover is here because I need to have this so that I can run normal trains through this area and then push out the track layers this way. I've also put a crossover here because we've still got quite a lot of electrification and track laying to do through here, but at the same time I just want to be able to keep the track layers under control. Now with respect to track, if you watch the previous part, you'll be aware that I had a problem here with a bit of track that I was trying to delete, and every time I clicked on it, the game would crash. So what I had to do in the end, and this is something that you may need to consider when you play realistic mode, whether it's an early start or any time, and that is that if you come into here, go to game settings, and turn off the demolition here, and what that allows you to do is actually demolish problematic bits of track. It's that mainly rail track, but occasionally I've had it with kind of bits of road that the game has got a bit confused with. The downside is that it means that I'm no longer eligible for achievements on this playthrough because I've come out of realistic mode. But there was no alternative because no matter how many different ways I tried it, whenever that bit of track was selected for demolition, the game would just crash. And it got to the point where I was literally loading the game and coming here, click on here, and the game went boom, gone. Some people might say it's cheating, but personally I say it's just being pragmatic because that's the reality of what you're doing. So that's the current situation. We are playing things here. I did have a bit of a problem down here in the late winter with respect to the water supply here. The truck that was delivering the water to here, where is it? This one. It was an old truck and it was breaking down. And then what that was doing was causing a bit of a problem. So I wasn't getting the water supply here, so we got off to a slightly dodgy start with respect to our crops, but we got quite a lot of way in the form of intervention stores to keep going, so it's not like it's going to be the end of the world. We should be okay. I've got a little bit of a traffic jam here which could be an issue. This is an example of where you put traffic flowing across here. It looks simple, but we're actually clogging the main road up here, but I think we can live with it. It's also affecting our food deliveries and clothes deliveries to the prison, but I think we should be okay. Just quick. Yeah, we got enough food in there. We just need to kind of make sure that everything is going. I might actually increase the amount of storage in here just so we can get things going. And so that's the current situation. Apologies that it was a long introduction, but And an advance apology for what I'm about to do now, because what I want to talk about, and this was something else that came up in the comments, was auto replacement of vehicles. This is this button here. Now, I've already talked about it several times before. Now, this is a mechanism where you can tell the game to replace vehicles once you switch it on, given certain conditions up here. Now, what I want to do is just kind of explain what all these pages are about. Now, I've got 5 pages here. Now, what this does is tells you all the vehicle types that you have on the map, and I've got 90 vehicle types at the moment. And now this is something that does happen quite you could say extensively when you play an early start. If you do a 1960 start and you're a bit disciplined, you can get it a lot lower. But what I need to do now is actually rationalize this. But to give you a breakdown, now what you've got is these columns. Now the vehicle on the left hand side of each one of these columns is the vehicle that's actually on the map. Then you've got this, it says here, replace oldest vehicle here. This is like a manual thing that you can click to tell the game to replace the oldest vehicle on the map. So it's like a manual override. Then on the right hand side you get a picture of the vehicle that will replace the one that's done. So, and then what you've got at the bottom underneath is 3 symbols. You've got a vehicle depot, and if you've got a vehicle in the actual depot that's available to replace, that will be ticked. Then it says vehicles in storage. This is held in the storage lots. And then at the end here, that the vehicle can be replaced by money. And what you'll see here is that this one here has got a red cross on it. What that means is that this vehicle is no longer available. So this vehicle cannot be replaced with this vehicle. Now, if we come into here, what have we got here? Oh, we got fire engines. Okay, we've got the ammo fire engine. I think these fire engines need to be over here actually, but we'll send 2 over there just in case. But if I go back to here, and of course what you can do is actually filter. So if we come to fire trucks, what you will see is what you can see now is that because we've got 2 fire trucks in here, you can see now this says that there are 2 in the depot available to be replaced, but no vehicles in storage. But more importantly, because this fire truck is available, so what we could do, we come here, go to fire truck, and if we got the ammo F15 here, and what you see now is that means that if this Russian bolts, which we got 12 of, can be replaced by this. So this is how you kind of set everything up with respect to what you go. Now you can filter this by I think the best way to do it is by vehicle count. And what this shows is that I've got, well, one page, you can say I've got 2 pages where I've got vehicles where there's only a couple of them. Now for this to be able to work for me, and this is very important if you're doing it for an early access, is I need to start getting rid of some of these vehicles here, which I need to start getting rid of some of these individual vehicles which I've kind of accumulated like this. Looks like I've got 1 4-horse truck here, open wagon. Right, so I could replace that with, let's see what we've got in the way of open holes. So I could choose one of these. One thing you do need to be careful of is that this does list both Soviet vehicles and Western vehicles, as long as you've got a road contact to a customs post. If you don't have a road contact to the customs post, you won't do it. So for example, you can say, right, I want to replace that with that AC things. So it's a bit of a process, and also you need to be aware, especially with an early start, that these vehicles can go out of time. In fact, I'm just going to pick you up. I'm going to do something. I think I'm going to pick up some workers from there. We're going to use Western workers for this. I'm just going to do that. It's a tiny bit of fire insurance. It's not going to be that brilliant, but if I can get a few workers in there, if we do get a fire, we've got a chance of maybe putting it out. It won't be brilliant, but because it's only the one bus, but it's a small bit of fire insurance. So that, I think I've finally covered everything I want to cover. Now, what we need to do is focus a lot more on this area, because while we've got the accommodation done, we've got most of the resources set up. We've built a warehouse here, which means that we can start. Oops, we need to set that to limit things. So we're going to start bringing the food and clothes out to here to supply to the store. We've got one store here and another one over there. So that kind of gives us a bit of resistance to earthquakes. But the problem is we still haven't finished all the drainage here. Looks like we finally finished this pipeline here. We got some these here. So we still got to kind of finish a little bit of detail. The heating plant here is functional, but it doesn't have power. The main problem is the power. So what I've done is I've got this here. We've got a substation here. We've got a main power line going out to here. And I put a switch station here because we're going to have to run the power on this side of the border down to this area here. In fact, there might be an argument for a power station here as well. This is going to be quite a big industrial area when it's finished. Also, when 1936 comes and a paver, this gravel road might get superseded by some form of highway, which we're going to need to build as well. So getting the power up here is going to be quite important. Now, one thing I think I've talked about this in a previous part, and it's something I do want to kind of fix now, because I put this in. In fact, this probably could do with a road now. Well, got a road connection there. But I finally kind of come up with the idea, because I was looking at what we're going to do with the output from our oil refinery, which is over here. Because one, we've got to get the oil in, and two, what we've got to do is start shipping the fuel around the map. And also there's an issue with bitumen, because with bitumen what happens is that, because if I show you the oil refinery, fossil fuels, now when you're running the oil refinery, for every 250 tons of oil you get 125 tons of fuel and 75 tons of bitumen. Now fuel is something we're going to need to consume large quantities of, so there's generally you don't have a problem with fuel, and you can export a little bit of surplus. Bitumen is only really used for asphalt plants. Now that means that quite often one thing that develops, especially when you've got the oil refinery going at full bore. In fact, I've just seen the waste on this as well, which reminds me I haven't put the waste plants into the new town either. So we need to think about that. But anyway, back to the oil refinery. That means you've got to get rid of the actual waste that's coming from the actual the bitumen, not waste. I don't know why I'm calling it waste. Now that means that you've got to export it. Now, one thing I was considering, because this is an option, because we've done the research. Where is it? We got foreign pump pipelines here. Now, I can do that. The trouble is that if I put a foreign pipeline up here, bear in mind the oil refinery's over there, so we could put a foreign pipeline here, although it will need power. The problem is that that will be exporting for dollars. Now, even though the fact there's a red star here, because that's a feature of the map. Now, to export it for to make money, we would have to do that. But the trouble is if we don't deliver it by truck, we'd have to squeeze a pipeline through here. Now, as an experiment, if I just get rid of that and come in here, you see that I had a power line here. Now, originally I was going to bring a high tension cable over, but as an experiment, what I've done is run an underground cable through this gap in the border. And maybe that could be an option, but it's a bit cumbersome. Otherwise, what we're going to have to do is use the trains to try and get things done. So that's something we're going to need to look at. Oh, okay, you've got no steel. I think what we're going to have to do is get you to import the steel again. What I'm doing at the moment is, because the steel supply is a little bit inconsistent, I'm kind of flip-flopping these guys backwards and forwards the best they can. And that's the reason why I've kind of built up this war chest. Anyway, long story short, what I've decided is that we can turn this into our kind of long-term asphalt supply. If we come to the construction industry, now if I show you the asphalt plant, for to produce the asphalt, you can see, I'm aware that you can't see the small print, we need 125 tons of gravel and 20 tons of bitumen. So an asphalt plant is far better off connected to a aggregate store than the oil refinery. So what we're going to do is we're going to put an asphalt plant in over here. I want it to have a water connection. Now you can be a little bit cheeky by putting this closer to the buildings, because asphalt plants can be a little bit, how can you put it, I've actually don't think we actually need water. I think we're going to play safe here, and we're going to put you here. If you need water, we can put water in. I think maybe we will put you out here, angle you a little bit like that. Yeah, we'll put the asphalt plant there. We've got an oil pipe out there. Of course, more importantly now, what we've got to do is put you about there. We need that connected to that. It's a bit icky, but it's gonna kind of annoy me slightly. You can see it disappeared, so I'm just gonna put that back in again. We're kind of put you a little bit square like that. Put that back in again. Now again, the actual helicopter terminal here is long-term planning, because this will actually, how can you put it, this is where the helicopters are going to come in, and this asphalt will be distributed all across the map. What I do need to do now is we don't need a taxiway, we need a road here. And I think what we will do is we will need a workforce here, so you come here, you can come there. I don't really want vehicles taking a shortcut here, so you can come out like that, and you can come there like that. And then what this will do is eventually produce asphalt. Now, actually, I've just had a thought. Yeah, change of plans. I think we will put a road through here. because we are going to begin with, we are going to need trucks to take the asphalts through here, because we are going to expand out that way, and we will also need a road connection here, but that means the trucks will come through here. But so we will get here. Now the next thing we're going to need to do is put in an underground pipe, so we're going to need some storage here. Actually, we could probably put you about there, and because of the road we have to go under an underground pipe from there to there. And we're also going to need I think we're going to put you about there, because we're going to have to deliver the bitumen to here, and we're probably going to have to come in from that way. Again, we're just going to go underground. And we'll just put you there, like that. And I just want to check something, actually, come to think of it. Yeah. Yeah, there is a power connection to there. So when this is all finished, we will be able to produce the bitumen. I mean, there is an opportunity, because if you've been following the series a long time, you'll be aware that we've got this set up here where we actually produce wood pitch from wood forestry here. So we could, in the short term, actually produce the bitumen from here and into there. But let's see how it goes. I don't think I've got any more pipeline connections. No. Oh, there's one more in and one. Yeah, there's one more in. So we could create some bitumen production up here. But we'll see how that goes, because it depends on how quickly we get the oil refinery up and running. Have I got any? Got no workforce here. We're just gonna have to spec it. Now I am building a technical services here. We do need now to kind of deal with the waste management, something that I'd forgotten completely all about. And I think we're going to put the waste, what we got out here. We got this out this way. Let's see, now our waste management is in that direction. So I think what we're going to have to do is put the waste transfer here, because obviously we want, so we're going to have to put in a waste transfer system here. I think we will come in a little bit closer on that power line here. How far out that? You will go out as far as there. So we're going to put waste transfer here. And of course we're going to need a couple of cargo. I think we can put in a 4 and a 6, 4 on each one. So we're going to put you there. And of course what we're going to need here, we're going to go to proper technical offices now. Yeah, we'll put the technical office there. This one is going to be for the collection side, because this one will be, this will have 8 slots on it. And then of course what we're going to need on this side is a distribution office. We get you in there. We'll put a distribution office just there. What this will do is take the waste down that way. Actually, it's just occurred to me, we've got a gas station there. I think what I'd like is a gas station here. And we're going to, I must admit, I am a convert now to these one-way gas stations. That's on the right-hand side. So we need the gas station this way. I think we're got a gas station just here. Actually, maybe push it out back this far back. Get one here. This is going to be quite a busy road, and so I think having two gas stations close together will be quite important. So we've now got the waste collection here. We've got a technical services here. Now the role of this technical services is to, how can you put it, is to provide the snow coverage. I think you guys need to be on that. I think so. We're going to need snow plows. What are we building over here? Let's see what we got here. Why are you out of mechanical components? Actually, I'm just going to speed the game up now. Yeah, I'm having a real problem with this wood supply to here. Keeping it going is quite difficult. So we're building police. We've got, I think these are the secret police. So what we need next is snow plows. What's the best snow plow we got? Your best ploughing speed is 35 kilometers now. We'll start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Get those going. I think we are going to risk. I mean, at the end of the day, if the fire station burns down, we'll put all the fire trucks in here. I mean, that's what they're built for, so yeah. I don't think the workforce here is. Let me just see where that bus is. Where are you? Here he comes. Got 22 workers on it. We probably need 2 buses, but well, it is moving quite quickly. Well, until the winter comes. Pollution warning. Yeah, we've got the secret police here. Got the ordinary police here. I think we also need ambulances, don't we? Let's see what we got here. Right, we got. What are you? Got some ambulances. Right, I'm really reluctant to do this, but here's the historic. How many more we got? Yeah, we got get 2 in there. We are going to need waste management in this area, which needs to be done. I think what we could do is get some waste management in here. Get you. If I put you there, would you cover the fire station? Actually, well, I think we'll put you 1 there. Yeah, it's about 121 meters, so that would cover that area there. The other thing we haven't got in here is any Soviet monuments either. We've got to have at least one red star. That's 3.5, 100. We've got a red star monument in here. I'll put a couple of these in. These aren't quite so important later on, but they're useful to have. What's that there? Oh, that's the tavern. Well, we can always put the... So just put in a... I should probably put one just about there. Just to explain to the locals that this is a Soviet territory now. Right, back to waste management. Don't know why the game's on pause, but we need to cover these buildings. We covered the historic hospital, so we need to get in. That one there is resistant. Although, to be honest, one building that can't be covered isn't the end of the world. I mean, we could put the garbage collection there, actually. We'll put it there in the square itself. It's not exactly the best place, but the only downside is we have to put in a little bit of like that. 98, yep. And that will cover this building. So what we got here is we're probably going to need some fairly extensive coverage here, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings here, and see how much coverage we got. That one's not covered. I put you in there. That will cover that building. It will cover that building, but it won't cover... No, it will cover that building. It will cover that building, but it won't cover... I'll put you round the corner. Yeah, I think that will cover that. I put it right in this corner here, like that. Put you there. That's 116. That's 121. I haven't actually put a... Yeah, but you're not connected up yet, so we could probably do that. And do that. What that will do, so this one will be last chance to buy. What was that last chance to buy? So this covers this corner. What was the last? Got to pay attention to this. This is the Amico F-15 fire engine. I think that's the one we've got the template for. Let me just see. Fire engine. Yep. This is the good one that we actually need. I really do need to kind of take a look through these templates. I think we've got most of the... Got a lot of dumpers, but we can't have templates for everything. That's the temptation you've got to resist. So we're going to have a quick skite through speed. I mean, that's 80 kilometers an hour, but I think we're pretty good with respect to our ambulances at the moment. Let me just see, what's the ambulance we're currently using? We're using the Amoco F15, which is no longer available. It's only 50 kilometers an hour, but ambulances I don't think are that much of a problem. Bulldozers, well, buses, we've lost the Western style buses. Just have a look at speed, capacity. Basically from a bus point of view, we're still using dollars, and we've already got the single decker. The omnibus one here that's got 48 passengers on it's not fast enough. So if we kind of look at speed, we don't really have any really good buses at the moment. We've got the only good bus that we need. Cargo cars, not like concrete mixers. Capacity. This is the steam one. Let's have a look at what we've got in the way of concrete mixers. I think we've got a concrete mixer. And we got the Mack truck, which is probably the best we're going to get for a little while. Okay, it might be easier to do it this way. Covered holes, we got the Mack trailers again. And dumpers, Mack trucks, excavators. We got the F15, which I think is the best that we've got at the moment. Open holes, we've got Feltry, fire trucks, oil tanker. Again, this is very much a feature of when you play an early start. You tend to have a bit of a dependency on Western vehicles for capacity. We've got the NAM and the Bolts. Police cars, we've got the Russian Bolt there, which is good enough. Snow plows, we got the ammo, the sowing. I don't think we can get anything better for sowing at the moment. Waste trucks is going to be a little bit of an issue. Let's have a look here. Sowing. We got top speed of 12, 10. Don't think we're going to do any better from the point of view of sowing, harvesting. We got the People's Pre-War one, which will last until 1946, so we don't need to worry too much about that. Prison bus. I don't know what prison buses we're currently using at the moment, but we won't need to see. Sometimes with templates, you don't need to pay for a template for something you're not going to build very, very often. Tower cranes, I think we're okay actually. So we're out of wood again. We're just not delivering that wood fast enough. Oh well, that's the way it is. There's not much I can do about it. So we'll get back to the excitement of laying in the but I don't think that bus is really going to work. We're just going to have to gamble that we're not going to get a major problem. So right, we put in some waste management over here. Next area we need to put it into is this area. I do really need this built. Missing resources still. How are we doing over here? You've got unfinished footpaths, star monuments. I would like that built, please. Right, back to here. I'm going to put in a little bit more waste management. We'll put you on this corner here. Actually, we could kind of put you like that, couldn't we? That would give us a little bit more extra coverage by doing that. Actually, I'll do it this way around. Put you there. We'll put an asphalt footpath through there. Just going to do a temporary connection to there. It's not going to be enough to get to that one. That will also allow for us to put some more stuff here. That covers this corner here and here, but we've got all these small buildings here anyway, so we might as well see if we can get the coverage here. I put you there. Yeah, we can put you there. That will cover this end of the town. To put you there, but it doesn't cover this bit here. So we're going to have to put in. You are connected. Yeah, there's a bit of connected road there. Looks like we got some footpaths here. This is what's left of the old road. I think what we'll do is we'll take you out there, and then we're there's something. Take you to there. Then we're just, oh, there's a tiny bit of, right, we'll split that difference there. And then what that will mean is that if I, why is this not being built? Can you bump the priority on that, please? Right, so we got that one there. We need to put in a waste collection here. I think we can just put the one in here like that. Hook you up with, actually we'll just do gravel. That can go to there. That can go to, we'll put you there. You come out of there. I think we're going to footpath across like that. Hook you up into there. Bring you out there. Like that. And we've got store on this corner. These, to make sure, I don't want these built just at the moment. So suspend them. We've got waste collection into here, haven't we? So we need some form of waste collection down here. So we got the store here. Oh yeah, we'll go just in there. So, and just to make sure that that actually, aha, I've just split this up. Okay, one's not finished. So, where's the road crew? Road crew is over here. Yeah, I've messed up the road crew. Where are you? You do back on there. Although I would guess that this, yeah, okay. Then we can put you in there. I think we can work on the rest of the, what we call it here. This has got, okay, we need those built in as well. Where's the, actually, we'll use the groundworks crew here. Okay, this one's not finished yet. Yeah, they're looking for gravel. Right, I think, just to finish off, I'm aware that I'm running out of time. We need to put in the road connections to there. We need to sneak in a road connection to there, because what we've got to do now is connect up all our pump jacks. This one's going to be fun. That's not gonna, we're gonna have to try and level out the ground a little bit more here. Actually, I'm kind of thinking we're gonna have to put the road that way. Maybe push you out this way a little bit, like this. Put you through here. This is going to be our town is there. Actually, it might be better to go the other way. Now, part of the problem we're going to have here is that these pump jacks are going to be vulnerable to fire. Kind of go into like that. You're going to have to hook up to there, and we've got one here that's kind of out on its own. No, there's two over here, so you're gonna have to come through here and there, and you're gonna have to hook to there. It's not ideal, is probably the polite way of saying it, but there's not much I can do about it. I mean, the fire station is here, but question is, the coverage could be a little bit sketchy. So what we may have to do is bring in a fire, provide some fire coverage from here. So what we're most likely, in fact, what we're definitely going to have to do is put in a fire station out here, and then maybe that will provide some of the coverage. Now, I'm running out of time on this video, so what I'm going to do is plan in all the infrastructure around the oil refinery, because what we've got to do is put in all the oil tanks that will bring the oil from this area. Of course, we've got a whole load of power supplies to put in here as well, to try and make it work. In fact, I'll probably be would it be justified? I think I need to think about it. We might use windmills out here, but then again, that's still the fire risk. Just to finish off, we're just going to take a quick look at what our trains are actually, construction trains are doing, where they are, what they're working on. You're going that way. Where are you going to? Okay, you're working out here, which is good. Where are you working? Obviously, there's a priority at the moment in this area, which means this is an indication often that and you're working out this way. So what track are you working on? Okay, so this guy is trailblazing out this way, which is what we do need to do to connect up all this as well. That means that for some reason we are not laying the track out here. Just to see what... I've only got the 3 here. I'm a bit worried about why is there... Why do I get the feeling that there's a little bit of electrified track missing here? Oops, that's the wrong one. Yeah, there's a tiny smidge of track there, high priority. This is why it's quite important to check through here. That's been built there. Just want to check, double check here. Oops, electrification. Right, this is why there's sometimes this. No, I don't want to do that bit there. Okay, so it looks very much like the track out here needs to be flagged. So let me just come out here. Say all this needs to be electrified anyway, so I'll just tell it to electrify all this. I've kind of hooked a couple of tracks here. We need to finish that bit there. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.